Hello friends, my name is Ramasu. Today we shall discuss about a topic that what is project management plan. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management or you are planning to give exam of PMP in near future or you are already working somewhere as a project manager. So this is a very interesting and important topic for you. So let's start friend. First of all, I will request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you. Friend, a project management plan is a formal document that defines how a project is going to be carried out. It outlines the scope, goals, budget, timeline, and deliverables of a project, and it's essential for keeping a project on track. You write a project plan during the project planning stage of the project life cycle, and it must be approved by stakeholders before a project can move on the execution stage. This means your project plan must be engaging, organized, and thorough enough to gain the support of your stakeholders. Now, what are the parts of a project management plan? Before you start assembling your own plan, you should be familiar with the main components of a typical project plan. A project management plan should include these sections like executive summary, a short description of the contents of the report, project scope and deliverables, an outline of the boundaries of the project, and a description of how the project will be broken down into measurable deliverables. Project schedule, a high level view of project tasks and milestones. Gantt charts are handy for this. Project resources, the budget, personnel, and other resources required to meet project goals. Risk and issue management plan, a list of factors that could derail the project and a plan for how issues will be identified, addressed, and controlled. Communication management plan, a plan for how team and stakeholder communication will be handled over the course of the project. Basically, a project plan should tell stakeholders what needs to get done, how it will get done, and when it will get done. That said, one size doesn't fit all. Every project management plan must be tailored to the specific industry and circumstances of the project. Now, how do you write a project plan? First of all, highlight the key elements of your project plan in an executive summary. An executive summary is a brief description of the key contents of a project plan. It's usually the first thing stakeholders will read, and it should act like a Cliff's Note version of the whole plan. It might touch on a project's value proposition, goals, deliverables, and important milestones, but it has to be concise. It is a summary after all. First, make sure you develop a proof of the concept. Plot your project schedule visually with a Gantt chart. A carefully planned project schedule is key to the success of any project. Without one, your project will likely crumble into a mess of missed deadlines, poor team management, and scope creep. Luckily, project planning tools like Gantt chart and project timelines make creating your project schedule easy. You can visually plot each project task and major milestones, then look for any dependencies of conflicts that you haven't accounted for. Clarify the structure of your project team with a team organization chart. One of the hardest aspects of project planning is assembling a team and aligning them to the project vision. And aligning your team is all about communication, communicating the project goals, communicating stakeholder requests, communicating the rationale behind big decisions. The list goes on. This is where good project documentation is crucial. You need to create documents that your team and your stakeholders can access when they have questions or need guidance. Organize project risk factors in a risk breakdown structure. A big part of project planning is identifying the factors that are likely to derail your project and coming up with plans and process to deal with those factors. This is generally referred to as risk management. The first step in coming up with a risk management plan is to list all of the factors at play which is where a risk breakdown structure comes in handy. A risk breakdown structure is a hierarchical representation of project risk organized by category. Plan ahead. Create project status reports to communicate progress to stakeholders. As we mentioned or discussed that communication is fundamental in any project. But even so, something that's often overlooked by project managers is a communication management plan. A plan for how the project team is going to communicate with project stakeholders. Too often, project communication defaults to ad hoc emails or last minute meetings. You can avoid this by planning ahead. Start with a project kickoff meeting and include a project status report template as part of your communication plan. It is a document formally approved and which is used to manage project execution. The project management plan documents the actions required to define, prepare, integrate, and coordinate the various planning activities. The PMP clearly defines how the project is executed, monitored, and controlled and closed. The main criteria of such a document are to provide a comprehensive framework of what has to be achieved through the execution of the project, procedures to solve it, steps to measure and report the project, and also as to how the information will be communicated and importantly who will be involved in it. The PMP should be used as a reference for any decision that is made on the project and clarification of unclear areas. Then friend, the project management plan purpose. What is the purpose of project management plan? Friend, the project management plan adds structure to the process by assigning an order to all the important parts involved in the plan. The purpose of a project management plan or PMP is to determine the project outcome, how a successful outcome will be achieved, who will be involved in the project, and how the project will be measured and communicated. Like any blueprint, you have to know what you are trying to do. So, having a goal is important. Secondly, you have to know how you are going to achieve those goals by knowing which people in the process play which roles. A project management plan is basically defines not only when a project will be delivered but also how it will be delivered. If a document only contains what will be done and by when, it is not a true project management plan. This can be confusing as there are a number of explainers on how to create a project management plan or a project plan that leaves out key components. A complete project management plan must include guidelines on how a project is executed, monitored, and controlled. According to the Project Management Institute, it should answer all of the questions like what is to be done, when will it occur, how much will it cost, who will do it, what products or services will be delivered as a result of the effort, what is the responsibility of both the developer and the user, who is responsible for accepting the product as completed, what determines task completion, what mechanics will be employed to deal with mechanics formally, how will actual progress be measured. So, these are very important questions here. So, now friend, thanks a lot for watching the video friend. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video. Thank you friends.